Hey, good morning. It's Councillor Glen, Saturday morning, and I am on Hazeldean Road at the Bradley Craig farm. I'll tell you why I'm here in a sec, and I've got some updates on COVID and vaccines. But there's something I wanted to just share right off the top. Got a message last night in my Facebook inbox that I wanted to read to you because it's important. Mindy, who wrote to me. It's very loud here. I might have to move. Anyhow, an important message from Mindy. She writes, "There are unpleasant racism-related messages circulating on Facebook. Can I ask that you speak to this in your Saturday morning messages? This is totally unacceptable behavior in our beautiful Shea. Any unpleasant behavior towards any community member should be tolerated anywhere. Let's be a role model community to the rest of Ottawa." That's from Mindy on my Facebook page. And Mindy, thank you for writing that. I agree. And any racism, whether it's words or graffitis or action, whatever it might be, something that we have to confront and speak out against. So thank you very much, Mindy, for that reminder. And you know, parents, if you've got kids, maybe have a chat with them about racism and language, and what kind of words they're using and what effect that can have on people. I'm here in front of the Bradley Craig farm. So this is the farmhouse on Hazeldean Road. Across the street from me is the Lowe's and the Winners and Bush Taka and everything. And you'll probably recognize over this shoulder here, the sun is behind it, so it kind of makes everything a silhouette. That's the Bradley Craig barn. It's a big red barn, dates back to the late 19th century. I just decided to come out here today. On Tuesday, I had a chance to tour around the barn with the renovation team. They have a team of heritage masons who are right now doing renovations on the foundation. And I've had a lot of emails over the last few weeks asking what is happening at the Bradley Craig barn. Are they tearing it down? You know, there's boards that are peeled off of it. The doors are open to the elements right now. It's actually good news. The reason why some of those boards have been removed is to facilitate the rehabilitation of the foundation. And I had a look up close, and I did share some photos on Facebook the other day. The work that they've done on the foundation to restore the stone that's there is just incredible. Very skilled work. Richcraft's investing quite a bit of money into this, and they're continuing to keep the barn in good shape. Got a chance to look inside. It's the first time I've ever been inside, and the woodwork and the craftsmanship is just incredible. You can see the axe marks from when the wood was originally cut and trimmed and smoothed down. And there's not a nail used at all in the construction of the barn. The barn was completely joined together. It's like a massive jigsaw puzzle. There were no nails used in its construction. So a really fascinating building. Very important heritage building to Canada and Stittsville. And I'm glad to see that Richcraft is putting in some investment to keep it in good shape and to renovate it, to rehabilitate it. Okay, I have a lot of updates today. It was a very, very busy week. Let me start with blasting. That's something that came up. I mentioned last week that blasting has been completed at Hazeldean crossings at Hazeldean and Victor Street. That's good. The blasting at Shea Village, which is along Fernbank near Shea Road, that's not done yet. It was supposed to be 6 to 8 weeks starting in February. They did start in February. They had a bit of a pause in the middle, but as they continued the work, there's more rock and more than they anticipated. So their blasting could continue for as much as another 2 months. There's a lot of blasting there. I've asked Kavanaugh to keep me updated. They don't have to. As a builder, they aren't required to notify anyone beyond just a very small radius, but I've asked them to keep us posted, and if I get more information, I'll share that along to the community. Because of COVID, cleaning the capital has been put on pause. You can still go on the city's website and register to clean up a local park or public area, but the actual cleanups themselves, we're asking you to pause that right now due to the provincial shutdown. So hopefully we can continue with those in May. We lost the opportunity last year due to shutdowns and pandemic, but I'm hoping we can get people out. There have been a lot of people who have signed up to clean up parks in Stittsville, which is really, really encouraging, but please put a pause on that until May, once we are hopefully out of the shutdown situation. Some development files in our community, thanks to residents who joined us last week for our information meeting about 5725 Fernbank for the plan of subdivision. That's in the south end of Fernbank near Robert Grant, just kind of surrounding the new high school site down there. And a reminder that this, I think it's Thursday, we have a meeting for 6111 Hazeldean Road. This is a proposal for an oil change facility, a car wash, and eventually a Starbucks next to the Giant Tiger. So if you live in Potters Key or Jackson Trails, this is a piece of land that kind of backs onto the homes that are on Bandelier. So that might be of interest on Thursday. You can watch archives of these videos on my YouTube channel, and you can get more information about the upcoming events on my website at glengower.ca. It was a busy week at City Hall, even without, beyond everything happening with COVID-19 and vaccines. We had a FedCo meeting on Tuesday where we got an update on how the city is doing budget-wise during the pandemic. We actually ended up in 2020 with a very small surplus that we're putting into our reserve funds, because we know 2021 and 2022 will continue to be difficult years. In general, we're okay. We are getting some support from other levels of government so that we continue delivering the essential services to people in Ottawa, so that's good. On Wednesday, we had a transportation meeting. I made some comments about bike sharing, about whether or not we should establish a bike share program in Ottawa. We've had them from time to time. I think the NCC ran one, and they've had not a high degree of success, but we are seeing in cities like Toronto and Montreal and other mid-sized cities, we are seeing bike shares having a lot of success. I see it as potentially a good way to extend the mobility around transit stations. So if you take a bus or right now to Eagleson Road, for example, or Terry Fox, perhaps if there's a way to establish a bike share, it would give you another option to get home, to make that last kilometer or two trip from the transit station. So I'm hoping it's something we can look at in the next term of council. There's a lot going on right now, obviously, but something that we can look at in the future. We also talked a bit about Robert Grant, so I may have some more about that in a later update. We had Planning Committee on Thursday. Next week we have Built Heritage Subcommittee. We have City Council, which will be our first City Council meeting in about a month or so that could be a busy one. We'll be getting an update from Dr. Etches at Council. And then also on Wednesday night, our Stittsville Main Street Steering Committee is meeting for another meeting. So it's been a good group, a good exercise so far. COVID-19 updates. I checked the numbers this morning on ottawapublichealth.ca for vaccines. 157,000 Ottawa residents over the age of 16 have received at least their first dose. So that's about 18% of people in Ottawa over 16 years of age. There are all sorts of new criteria, eligibility criteria for more priority groups who can receive the vaccine. I don't want to try to explain it all here because it's a lot of information. But if you do go to my website, glengower.ca, last night I posted all the latest information for eligibility. And by the way, you can go to ottawapublichealth.ca. They have an eligibility tool, so you can enter in your postal code, your age, and other information, and it'll tell you whether or not you're eligible for a vaccine and how you can go about booking an appointment. It's a really good resource there. We are seeing a increasing demand for testing in Ottawa, and I was really glad to see that they've added a new testing clinic as of this morning in Richmond at the Richmond Arena. So that'll have more capacity. Right now we're seeing the testing centers at or close to capacity, so it's something we need to add more ability for people to get tested. The closest one is at Moody Drive and Bell's Corners, so adding this one in Richmond gives people another alternative out here in the West End. And I'm continuing to work with officials. I'd like to see another testing clinic added here in Stittsville to make that testing as easy and convenient as possible for people. We are obviously in another shutdown. This is having a massive effect on local businesses, especially restaurants and especially businesses that are limited to curbside. So I want to again remind you, if you can, support those businesses with a takeout order. Try to do your online shopping with a local business. They really need your support. They are really struggling with this open, close, and any way that you can bring them your business would be greatly appreciated. Also want to remind people just to take care out there. Make sure if you've got a mask, it ends up in the garbage and not on the ground. Make sure if you're out on the trails that you are respecting physical distancing and people who might be walking along with you. But most importantly, I want to remind people right now just to be patient, be kind, Be graceful with your neighbors. People are struggling, and you really never know what the person next to you, what your neighbor might be going through. So I please just ask you to show some patience and grace. Ask if people need some help. I think there's a lot of people in our community who are really struggling with this right now. I'll leave it there for now. It is a gorgeous day. I biked over here to the barn today. Good to get out on my bike. I think it's going up to 24 degrees or 25 degrees. One thing that is absolutely permitted during this extended shutdown is exercise. We're asking you to exercise with people from within your own household only, but by all means, go out for a walk, go out for a bike ride, take out your skateboard, head over to the park. If you can't maintain physical distancing, wear a mask. But by all means, get out and exercise, and it's a beautiful day right now to do it. Great for your physical health and mental health. I hope you have a great weekend. I'll talk to you next Saturday morning. Take care. Bye.